and I need her to be freed from the shackles because we need to be freed from the storyline. Thank you. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. Guys, it's been a while. Okay, it's been a while. I hope everyone is doing well. Even setting up the camera to film and taking notes today was very strange, but as many of you guys do know, your girl went to Greece and a lot of you are actually watching my IG stories and also the pictures. This will tell you guys, follow me on Instagram because I was literally doing up daily vlogs whilst in Greece, and I still have my pictures up and my IG highlights as well, so you can definitely go check it out. But no guys, Greece was absolutely amazing. Sadly, my VPN actually wasn't working and I paid for it, so I need to email them to get a refund because how am I going to pay for a VPN and it's not even going to work? But yeah, I don't even know where to start. The VPN, the Wi-Fi, everything was an absolute mess. I tried to watch Sunday's episode and that was interesting because I had to watch it through a hotspot through Twitch, which just kept glitching. I actually ended up recording a review for that and it took almost 3 days to upload, and then when it uploaded it didn't even process. I said I can't do this. Okay, I cannot do this. But a huge thank you to everyone who of course stayed up to date with my IG stories and also sent me messages that Sarah, it's okay, just enjoy your holiday. Guys, I had such a great time. I can't believe I'm back in the UK where it rains. Ah, scam. But yeah, guys, I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. I have missed you. I've missed taking notes. I've missed talking. So there's a lot for us to catch up on as well. So yeah, as I usually and always say, number one, if you haven't yet subscribed, baby, be sure to subscribe. We hit 28k the other day. So a huge thank you for your love and support. Road to 30k. Let's definitely get it going. So definitely be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and on my Twitter because you were missing the Greece updates if you weren't there. At Sarah Destiny X, both on Instagram and also on Twitter. And as I usually, and I have also missed saying, please get cozy and comfy with a lovely drink. Today I have a apple and elderflower chef's kiss, the Capella one, chef's kiss. Okay, but yeah guys, a lot for us to talk about, so let's get into today's review. So let's start off with some of you actually messaged me that you wanted me to kind of do like a rundown of the entire week, and I won't lie guys, I didn't actually watch every episode, but of course I was staying up to date with my friends who do reviews. No, that's right. So I guess I'll quickly speak about a few things that have been happening, you know, a few things that have been happening. Abby, I need her to behave. I don't know why she's acting so delusional and so weird, but it's low-key like her, I don't even know. We'll get into it, but Abby needs to behave. Amber needs to behave. Sis, I still don't understand why she's back in that villa. I have been telling you guys this since Sammy recoupled up with her. I still don't understand her place in that villa, her time in that villa. I don't know. I'm so sorry. And I have already told you guys this, that I do think she's actually really young. I'm not saying 19 is like a baby, but she is the baby of the villa and I don't really see her forming any genuine connections with any of the guys. But that's that. Catherine and Elam, guys, I was shocked, okay? Like I said, I wasn't able to watch all of the episodes and I was only able to catch up with glimpses of some reviews. But guys, I was shocked that y'all actually sent her home. But I wasn't too surprised as well because I know a lot of people weren't happy with the way that she acted about the whole Scott situation. But the producers, wow, really done a 180 on that with us, all right? Very shocking. Ella 2.0 in the villa. I don't know how I feel about her presence. So, and Josh, sorry, I forgot there's another guy. But Ella 2.0, I don't know how I feel about her in the villa. I feel like her only goal is Ty and she can't get Ty, so she's settling with Mitch. But we'll get into that later anyway. But I don't really know how I feel about her in the villa, if I'm going to be honest with you. But yeah, that's just a little summary of, I guess, what has gone on in the past couple of weeks. So guys, let's get into today's review. So let's start off with Abby saying that she feels mugged off about the whole thing with Ella B and Mitch. He was speaking to Ella after Ella B and he was just like, you know how Mitch is? This was Mitch, by the way. He was like, so yeah, this is me. No, this is Abby. He was like, this is Abby and this is you. And Abby is just like this. And you're just like this. And I'm just thinking, guys, Mitch and Abby, I genuinely think they deserve each other because something is not okay upstairs. They're both very interesting characters. But of course, he was saying that, you know, you bring a very different energy and he wants to get to know her more than Abby. The truth is, I don't actually think Ella B is as interested in Mitch as he thinks she is. I think Ella's only goal was to come into this villa and get Ty, and she can't get Ty, so now she needs to try and figure out who she can get to stay in the villa, and the second option is Mitch. I feel like Mitch doesn't know how to behave when like with bad bees. It's given my first bad bee because he is hella okay, excited. And I honestly feel like Abby has been moving weird. She's been moving very territorial for no reason. I feel like she's been moving very delusional and very obsessive as well. Very interesting, but we'll get into that shortly. Now let's move on to Josh and Jess having, sorry guys, it's been a while, so I'm actually, yeah, trying to get to, you know, yeah. But we'll move into Josh and Jess, it's the J's, talking. And she said that deep down she knows where her head is at, and she apologized because she felt like she didn't want to lead him on. He's a good guy, etc, etc. And that of course that she's closed off from Sammy. I tweeted this and I'm going to say it again, okay? Jess needs to be freed from the shackles of Sammy. We are 5 weeks in. There has been zero progression. I don't really know what she's fighting for. I think it's just because she's familiar with Sammy and she just wants to, you know, just a familiar safety net, which a lot of people are prone to doing. But I'm tired of the storyline, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know what they are fighting for. It's just given repetitive. And she was also saying, she then went to go speak to the girls after, and she was saying, oh, Sammy doesn't tell her that she's beautiful and she needs him to open up. And the sad reality is because I don't know if Sammy, and the thing is, Jess isn't an ugly girl. You guys know, I like Jess, you know, she's a vibe. But Sammy has already said in his confessionals, and I think to some of the guys as well, that he isn't actually physically attracted to Jess. So because he isn't physically attracted to her, I don't expect him to tell her, oh, by the way, I think you're really beautiful. So I just feel like Jess needs to, I've been saying this since this whole situation has been happening, she needs to close that door. She needs to keep her head up high. If she finds love in the villa, cool. If she doesn't, she can come back outside, let her deal with the sponsorships, with the brand deals and all that good stuff, and just keep things going. I don't see her and Sammy lasting in the villa, talk less of them lasting on the outside, and I need her to be freed from the shackles because we need to be freed from the storyline. Thank you. Now let's move on to Amber and Josh having a conversation. Not really much to discuss there other than the fact that I genuinely don't see why Amber is in the villa. She just gives me young vibes. Isn't Josh like 20? Is Josh 26? I think he's 25 or 26. Sis is 19. And I know people say, oh, age ain't nothing but a number. It is in this scenario. Okay? It is in this scenario. They need to couple up because low-key they're giving background noise anyway, and then they can go home. Now, let's move on to Jess pulling Sammy for a chat about the whole Josh situation. Why am I twisting my tongue like this? Can't I read? Okay, about the whole Josh and yeah, Jess situ. And she was like, you know, I'm a really nice person. And he was like, oh, but I said that we're exclusive. So if I said we're exclusive, why do you think we need to be a nice person to him? It was given waffle. And that's honestly because I just genuinely don't feel like Sammy's interested in Jess anyway. But he's just trying to start up a storyline, trying to make it seem like I care about you so much. Why would you do me like that? Why would you do me dirty? It's not given a thing, guys. I'm so sorry. Like, everyone can see through Sammy. And we're tired of the storyline. That's just the bottom line. The storyline is boring. It's repetitive. There is zero progression. What are both of them fighting for? I don't know. If you know, let me know down below. I just think it's because they're familiar and comfortable with one another, because there really is no point. But she was saying that, you know, she needs reassurance. And he was like, oh, I'm not a feelings person. Then why are you on Love Island? Sammy, make it make sense. I'm tired of reviewing the same storyline, and I'm sure you guys are tired of watching it. It's okay. I'm sorry. There's not really much to discuss there other than the fact that I just feel like Jess needs to leave him alone. And she thinks that her and Sammy are going to last outside of the villa. They can barely last inside the villa. So I just need them to close that door. And yeah, keep it stepping, because she's not going to get the reassurance she wants because Sammy is not actually interested in her. Now let's move on to the nighttime. Not much to discuss other than the fact that Abby was shading Ella. We'll get into that anyway. Mitch was asking Ella if she wants to cuddle, and Lachlan and Whit were having a little smoochy smooch. Now let's move on to the following morning. 3 chats. We'll get into Ella and Josh. Then we'll speak about the boys and then also the girls. So starting off with Ella and Josh. Actually, before I get into that, girl, why are you skipping your notes? Let's start off with the fact that the girls are getting ready in the morning. Okay, first and foremost, was Abby actually asked Molly, you know, or what were they cuddling last night, aka were Ella B and Mitch cuddling, and Molly was like, yeah, and she was just like, oh, I just feel so mugged off. She needs to let it go. It's actually okay, baby girl, rest. Second of all, let's talk about the fact that Ella B was getting ready in Ella A's spot. Am I saying that right? Should I have to call them Ella 1 and Ella 2? Let me call them Ella 1 and Ella 2, because the B and the A's and all of that is starting to mess with my mind. But Ella 2 was getting ready in Ella 1's spot, and Ella 1 literally told her to up and leave because you're actually in my space. Energy. Okay? I was actually screaming because she told her to move her stuff because her stuff are there, and I think Ella 2 at first was giving a bit of mouth, but she ended up moving. I said, gosh, it's the spirit of Tyrique rubbing off on our good sis. It really is, because we know that Ella, Tyrique is the boss of the guys, clearly, and Ella is out here telling people what to do. Very interesting. Now, of course, we'll move into the chat. So Ella B was talking to Josh, and she was like, you know, she likes the pace that she's going at with Mitch. Once again, I don't think she's as interested in Mitch as she's making it out to seem, but that's a story for another day. The boys are having a conversation. Mitch said that, you know, it's the same thing over and over again with Abby, and he's really leaning towards Ella. He was using his hands again. Okay. Yeah, Ella B's not as interested in Mitch as much as he thinks he is. That's just the honest truth. And Abby has been moving a bit weird, so I do have to honestly side with the fact that Mitch has been saying, yeah, I had the ick. Move on to the girls chat. Abby was saying that she feels mugged off about the ick bit. Okay, we've heard. And she said that Ella B is the opposite of his type, and that when Ella was coming into the villa, like, her type is Ty, so like Mitch is the complete opposite of that as well. So what exactly is going on, etc, etc. She then said that she feels like she's going to try and speak to Scott. That makes no strength, you know. Guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what it is today, but that makes absolutely no sense, okay? You already told him that you weren't interested in him and you mugged him off. So why are you going back to Scott? Second of all, I honestly don't want Scott to entertain it, but he ends up entertaining it later on in the episode, which was very disappointing to see. But in all honesty, Abby, it's a shame because she entered the villa okay, but she moved very weird with that whole Mitch situation for no reason. All she had to do was play it cute and play it mute. If she had a few things to say, babe, you can say it. It's okay. You're entitled to your own opinion. But she could have like just moved a bit more graceful with it. She was just for no reason. And now everyone in the villa and people in the public are looking at you funny. It's not a good look, sis. And she needs to not go for Scott. You already mugged him off, so what is that? Anyway, we'll get into that shortly. Now let's move on to Sammy and Jess having a convo. He said that he doesn't want to be stuck on certain things and he wants to put all the bad things to bed. Once again, full storyline. Jess was really happy, you know, stroking his shoulder and everything. Over it. That's all I can say. I don't even want to repeat myself anymore. I'm over it. Now let's move on to Abby confronting Mitch, and she said that she feels like he isn't interested anymore. Mitch was like, you know, of course I'm still interested in you. But I think for Abby, that was just kind of her, I guess, her closure, so that she can really get to know Scott without even having to think about the whole Mitch situ, because you can tell that she does really like him, but the whole situation just made her feel like she was being mugged off. And truth to be told, with the way that she acted, I don't think I want her and Mitch to be together, to be honest. Or they can be together and they can go home, but in terms of progression there, I don't really see it, because she really displayed obsessive qualities over a couple of days. For what reason? None whatsoever. Now let's move on to Ella 1 and Ella 2 going for a chat. She of course ended up apologizing for the Ella comment, and she said obviously, you know, because I had the same name. And then they were talking about the whole conversation with Ella, you know, saying that Ella wasn't being friendly when she entered the villa, etc, etc. The truth of the matter is, you came into the villa with targets on my man, so why would I be friendly? I'll pause so that you can answer that question, because that makes absolutely no sense. I don't know if Ella heard what Ella 2 was hearing what she was saying, because why would I be friendly when you came into the villa targeting my man? It's not making any sense. And on top of that, it's a man that you know. It's not even like it's a new and, oh, I just want to get to know Tyrique. You know Tyrique. Y'all have kissed in the club. But we'll get into that shortly as well. I kind of feel like Ella 2 came to squash the beef, if I'll be honest with you. She came to squash the beef and, you know, she wants things to be okay. But then she ended on the fact that, oh yeah, because he told me that it's a shame, that was our last kiss. So it was given she was still trying to add fuel to the fire. There was no squashing whatsoever. It's given, all right, babe, now that you seem happy, let me just throw another something and spanner in the works in there so that you can be, and I can tell you that I still have one up from you. So I feel like her adding that in was defo shade, sorry, and another bomb that she was just trying to throw in there to kind of rattle Ella 1. So yeah, we see you, babe. That's why Ella is off with you, babe, because you do think like that. Let's be for real. Now, let's move on to Tyrique and Whitney having a conversation. He said he rocks with his Charlie. I honestly don't know why Tyrique speaks in an American accent. It baffles me. But he was, of course, speaking to Whitney. And I won't lie, I do feel like that conversation was quite cute between them. It was definitely giving, you know, a bro and sis type of love. And he was just like, you know, I feel like I love her, but obviously I don't know what love is. And Whitney was like, well, if you feel that way, you know, X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, oh, can I feel that way even if, like, someone isn't even my girlfriend? Like, if I tell her I love her, that means I've got to make her my girl, innit? So all these conversations. But for me, it was given, how can I get that 50k? I'm so sorry. I love Tyrique as a character, but I just feel like the sequence of events just don't really make sense. I don't understand. I really don't understand. But the way we're literally 5 to 6 weeks in and there aren't even any solid couples is actually okay. Give someone the 50k at this point, because I just don't even know where it's going. Now let's move on to Ella 2 and Mitch having a conversation. Not really much to discuss there other than the fact that, like I said, the gag is that Ella 2 is not really as interested in Mitch as he thinks she is, sorry. Now let's move on to Ella 1 talking to Jess and Wit about Ella 2 and a Tyrique chat. And of course she started crying, you know, saying about the comment that he made with, oh, it's a shame that was our last kiss, etc, etc. And the girls were just like, yeah, that's not okay, no babe, but he was less flirty, that's this, that's that. And the truth is, she did say she can't be bothered to pull him up on him, you know, speaking to girls like, is this cycle going to continue? And the truth is, it probably will. I feel like Ella and Tyrique, as great as they are together when they're really good, it's a very interesting toxic type of love. And I feel like at first it was kind of like, not funny per se, but it was interesting to kind of see. But as the episodes and stuff have been going on, like, I feel like Ella has cried too much over this guy, and I get she likes him and everything, but yeah, it's a lot. And I just feel like if this is the tears that's going to happen in the villa, I'm not wishing bad for them when they leave the villa, but I just don't know what's going to take place outside of the villa because of all the things that have been going on in the villa. Do you know what I mean? But let me know down below, what do you think about the Ella and Ty situ? Do you feel like she should just nip it in the bud and let things go, which I know she's not going to do because we're so close to the finals? Or do you honestly think that they are going to work through things? But I do definitely see if they do work through things, they will 100% be making it to the finals, because they are definitely one of the first OG couples in the villa. Now let's move on to the night time. Right after they cheers, you know, they have the little clink clink, they ended up getting a text for the islanders to gather around the fire pit. And they said it was time for recoupling, in which the girls were going to pick. The truth is, only because the end of this episode made sense, I understood why we had the recoupling. But the truth is, I don't know why we had this recoupling. I feel like it's kind of a waste of time. I feel like the villa is very packed. People need to go. There's a lot of background furniture, a lot of extra cast members for no reason right now. So it made sense why we ended up voting for who we voted for in the end, which we'll get into shortly, so that we can honestly just start sending some people home, because it's getting a bit crowded. Now, of course, Whitney started off speaking about Lachlan and saying that Lachlan brings out a soft side to her and all this good stuff. And guys, I'm just so happy for Whitney, okay? You guys know, I've been telling you this. Whitney really suffered with Medi. She suffered. Any small thing that Whitney said in her speech, if Whitney said 100 nice things about Medi, if she mentioned one that, oh, but I do feel like we're a bit rocky, Medi will pull her up after the speech and go and actually say, yeah, that one thing that you mentioned. I'm so happy she's found Lachlan. Some people don't think they're genuine. At this point, I don't really care. I'm just happy that she's happy. And yeah, it was a really cute speech. She was giggling, she was smiling. They had a little combo after. I really, really, really liked that. Now, Katie and Uzi, aka Bobby Pins, Katie ended up picking Uzi, right? Let me just say it as it is, because no filter on this channel, it's my channel at the end of the day. But Katie, when she said her speech, was just like, oh yeah, like, he's gorgeous to look at, I feel like we will have gorgeous babies. I find it so strange when people make those comments. I'm so sorry. Like, if I said it's giving fetish, would you beat me? You can't beat me. But I said what I said. Like, it's so strange to me. Like, I just feel like we'll have gorgeous babies. Close her up. What do you... And my thing is, it was like, all right, cool, everyone wants gorgeous babies, but there's no guarantee. There was actually no guarantee. Then again, being gorgeous is subjective to you. I'm gonna stop talking, okay? Now let's move on to Ella. Of course, she ended up choosing Tyrique. She said they've had ups and downs, and that when they're good, they are really good. But she wants to get to a point where she can 100% trust him. The camera was panning to Tyrique sometimes, and he was just looking, I don't know, nonchalant, straight face, but then he started smiling here and there. Ella B was screwing. I'm not really surprised, because I definitely feel like her aim in this villa was to get Tyrique, and that aim is clearly flopping. Okay, now Jess ended up choosing Sammy. She says she sees it working on the outside and she'll rather have tests. I think she said something along the lines of, I'd rather have tests inside than outside. Whatever that means. My comments with Sammy and Jess, they stayed the same to the end of the season. I don't see it changing, so rewind to figure out what I said earlier. It still stands. Now Molly ended up choosing Zach. She was like, you know, I'm excited for the future. A huge emphasis on the future as well, by the way. She's like, I'm just so excited for the future, for our lives together. Da, 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 da. The truth of the matter is sadly, okay, Zach and Molly will be making it to the finals, guys. We are not seeing much of their scenes. We're not seeing much of their progression. They're kind of background noise, but they still seem to be getting votes. The truth is, I still feel like the producers did flop with bringing Molly back into the villa for Zach. It low-key looks like it ruined his Love Island experience, because he even looks drained. The camera was panning to him. My cousin even tweeted that his trim is even looking shasha. Okay, it's almost like all his life and energy is being sucked out of him. We don't really hear them speak. They don't have any tests, unlike Ella and Ty, who seem to be getting Tess so much. So I definitely feel like the producers have sadly succeeded with trying to get them to the finals, just coasting them to the finals as well. But yeah, I've been kind of over the whole Molly and Zach storyline since she entered the villa again, just because I just didn't understand the point of it. So yeah, that's just that. Ella B gave her speech saying that, you know, she's here for herself and she's had a good conversation with this guy, and that yeah, she ended up choosing Mitch. Once again, I don't feel like she's as interested in him, and she's burning because we all know she wants to really and truly get to know Tyrique. Now let's move on to Abby. Yeah, Abby gave one speech like this. Oh my gosh, it's such a shame because by default, Scott, you may have to go. Okay, you actually may have to leave that villa. But Abby gave one speech like this. She was talking about, oh, she feels she's been disrespected, but she, you know, she's praying that she can have the truth of the matter is, Abby, you literally mugged Scott off during that challenge. It's a shame, but it is where it is. Scott, you may have to start packing because I don't see you staying in that villa long. Not whilst you're coupled up with Abby. It's a shame because we like you, bro, but unfortunately, not whilst you're with her. I think my friend even tweeted, is there a way to keep Scott in the villa without voting for Abby? Let me know. Okay, let me know. And of course, Amber ended up coupling with Josh, saying that she hopes that they both find someone who's right for them. Y'all can do that outside. Thank you. Now let's move on to the ending of the episode. There were a few conversations, so bear with me as we kind of jump through them. Ella was talking to Ty about what Ella 1 was talking to Ty about what Ella 2 said, and about, you know, oh, it's a shame it was our last kiss comment, and he said it wasn't really like that. A lot of people have been speculating that he didn't actually say it the way Ella 2 perceived it, but either way, as a guy, just don't be too friendly with girls. Like, some guys don't understand it. Girls know how girls think. Even if you didn't mean it that way, a girl could easily take it that way. So I feel like Tyrique just shouldn't have said that line altogether. But he was just like, it wasn't even like that. It just happened in a club. She's playing a game. And then he flipped it and was pretty much like, what? Don't you trust me? Don't you trust me? And she was like, of course I trust you. But obviously from the beginning, you've been doing this and you've been doing that. And it hasn't been easy, etc, etc. So Tyrique now starts getting mad. And he's just like, no, what? I need to go speak to her. You know how Tyrique gets, right? So of course, he now goes to address Ella 2. And Ella 2 was like, no, I didn't say that. I never meant it that way. Oh no, I didn't say that. I told her that you didn't mean it that way. And I was just thinking, like, I don't get it when Islanders lie in 4K, because we see you. Your mic was on. We heard you, babe. What you're telling Tyrique right now is not what happened. I don't understand. Like, just be honest with it. Do you get what I mean? Like, the truth is, you wanted to come into this villa, you wanted to take her man, you wanted to be with Tyrique, and you wanted to keep things going. Unfortunately, Tyrique has pretty much deaded that because he wants to stay with Ella, and you're trying to get under Ella 1's skin by telling her certain things that Tyrique said, even though Tyrique shouldn't have said it in the first place. But the truth of the matter is Ella 2 can lie. And someone who can lie like that is scary. Okay? Someone who can lie like that is actually scary. In the meantime, of course, Ella 1 was talking to Whitney and Lachlan, and she started crying. Of course, she was like, I don't want to cry anymore, like, I've got no more tears left. Babe, I'm surprised you even still have tears left, because Tyrique has made that girl cry from episode 1. We are tired. Are you tired, babe? I'm sure you are. But we're tired as well. I mean, Ella is such a beautiful girl, but it just seems like there's just headache attached to Tyrique, and I don't understand why. But of course, Whitney, wait, what am I saying? Oh yeah, sorry, Whitney and Lachlan were of course speaking to her, and they were just like, in an ideal world, Ella, it's literally just you, like, trust me, Ty likes you. And I'm sure Whitney said that obviously coming from the place of the conversation that they had earlier on in the episode to pretty much reassure her. But of course, Tyrique now ended up coming over to her, and then they ended up walking back to the fire pit, and he was just like, why are you believing her over me? Why are you believing her over me? And then Ella 2 was talking to Mitch, and she was just like, oh, I'm just not here for the drama. I hate when people say they're not here for the drama when they're the one that created the drama. It's given the biggest lack of self-awareness, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, you literally lied in 4K, told the girl something that you knew was going to rattle her, lied again to the guy, and now you just cause drama. You're telling me you don't want to cause drama. Okay. Of course, in the meantime as well, because we'll get into that again, Abby was talking to Scott, saying that, you know, Scott asked her, you know, if you went before Ella, would you definitely have picked me? And she was just like, yeah, I would have. And they were just smiling and giggling and all that stuff. And the truth of the matter is that unfortunately by default, Scott, you have to go home, because we're not here for Abby. I'll be very honest with you, we're not here for her right now. So it's a shame, but I feel like Scott doesn't have any other options in the villa at this point. Is he gonna go for Auntie 19? I don't think so. So yeah, but Scott, start packing, babe. Oh, start packing. Sadly, you gotta start packing. Now let's move back to Ella 2 talking to Mitch about Abby's speech, and he was just like, I feel like that speech, the disrespectful part, really gave me a lot of clarity. I really understand that right now. That told me all that I need to know. Once again, Ella 2 is sadly not as interested in you as you think that she is, and that is that. Now, of course, Ella was crying to the girls that she doesn't want to cry anymore, and Ty was like talking to the guys, and he was just like, I was literally going to tell everyone in front of her that I love her tonight. The boys were like, oh, wow. And he was just like, oh, F this love thing, man. Why I love? Right? Oh, just think, oh, guys, the truth of the matter is, I'm so sorry. Maybe I would have cared about this storyline if it was like 2 weeks ago, but we're literally almost, what, 6 weeks? Is this week 6? I think it's week 6. Yeah, I think so, because last week was week 5 and that's the week I missed. Yeah, I think this week is week 6, and it's the same storylines that we've been watching since week 1. Like, at this point, just give it to Whitney and Lachlan. And that's only because I love sis, okay? I love sis. I love that she's happy. I just don't see the money. I don't see the point in the money going to anyone else, I'll be honest with you. Whitney was, of course, speaking to her, and she was just like, you know, are you ready to be the woman to help him grow? The truth of the matter is as much as I'm a bit in two minds about this, right? I think that was great advice from Whitney, by the way, to let her know that, are you ready for this? Because that's just the truth. If you sign up to be with Tyrique, you have to be ready to be the woman to help him grow. And that's just the honest truth, because this cycle seems to keep repeating itself. And I won't be surprised if, you know, what we see on the inside of the villa is just a mirror of what's going to happen on the outside. It's a shame, because we actually do like them together, but it just seems really toxic and really roundabouts and circles and things like that. And yeah, I feel like Whitney gave her good advice, as in, are you ready? Because the truth of the matter is, I don't know if I'm a bit weird, but it's not my job to help a man be a man. Come to me healed and whole. Okay, please, healed and whole. And clearly Tyrique still has a lot of things to get through and work through. I mean, he said he's never been in a relationship, but he has over 100 bodies. So it's honestly for Ella to really understand, is this what I really want for myself? And if it is, I'm gonna have to stick up with it. Of course, you guys know at the end of the episode, we'll give them the opportunity to vote for our favorite. Sorry guys, my mouth is so dry. I'm gonna take a sip, hold on. Better. Of course, you guys know at the end of the episode, we'll give them the opportunity to vote for our favorite couple. Of course, I voted for Whitney and Lachlan. I'd love to know who you guys voted for down below. I once again believe what I said before, which is that we are literally, what, 6 weeks in, and there aren't any solid couples. So right now my votes are just going to people that I like, and I really like Whitney and Lachlan together. But yeah, that was today's episode. I don't really feel like it was that amazing, which is why I was gonna even come and do my makeup for this review, but then I was just like, my first review back, but the episode didn't really give, so we're just gonna come with a bare face. But yeah, I feel like the episode was definitely a tad lackluster. I feel like a lot of people are just kind of like waiting for the episode and the seasons to end at this point. Yeah, let's see what the week holds. But yeah, that was the first review of this week. As always, I'd love to know what you guys actually thought of today's episode down below in the comments, so definitely be sure to comment down below to let me know what you also thought. I'm so glad to be back. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your lovely messages, your comments, your views, whatever it is. I just want to thank you guys so much for your love and also for your support. Your girl is back, so these reviews are back until the end of the season. But other than that, guys, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also be sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter. We still have a few cute pictures that we're going to be posting, period. So definitely be sure to follow me on my Instagram as well at SarahDestinyX. And number 3, please do take care, stay blessed, have a lovely evening, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.